Hey everyone, today's topic is on submissive urination when greeting people. Now this can be a very frustrating behavior for owners, but the most important thing you want to remember is to not act emotionally when this happens. You want to act very neutral and tell yourself that in the future you'll prevent it from happening and you will train your dog. But if it's already happened, there's nothing you can do about it. And the worst thing you can do about it is act frustrated or angry, because what can happen is it can make your dog more likely to submissively pee themselves the next time that they greet you or greet a person. So it feels frustrating, but you have to learn to control your emotions and just think, oh well, next time I'll be more careful with my dog. All dogs are different, but there are some specific stimuli that make dogs more likely to submissively urinate when greeting. So I'm going to go over some of those. One is a direct approach, where you walk directly at your dog like this, direct eye contact, leaning over your dog like this, petting the dog, just speaking in general. Some dogs will pee just at the sound of a voice, but a high-pitched voice or a very deep, loud voice can tend to make dogs submissively urinate. And most importantly, how excited the dog is and how much time has passed since the dog has seen that person. Now I'm going to talk about things you can do to make your dog less likely to submissively urinate when you're greeting your dog. The first thing is waiting till the dog calms down to initiate a greeting or physical contact with your dog. And in the description, it gives some ideas on what you can do. Now, when you are greeting your dog, I suggest instead of a direct approach, you can arc around towards your dog, or you can invite your dog into your space. So the dog is coming towards you or coming towards your guest, rather than them approaching your dog. The other thing that you can do is not do direct eye contact at your dog. As you approach your dog, you can look to the left and the right and blink at your dog, because that is telling your dog that you're not a threat. The other thing that you can do is, instead of leaning over your dog like this to pet your dog, you can lean over from the side to pet your dog, and this is going to make your dog less likely to submissively urinate when you pet or interact with them. If you have guests visiting your house, you want to give your dog an opportunity to go to the bathroom just before the guest arrives, and then you can have your dog on a leash and a harness or in a pen, so your dog has time to calm down before the initial interaction with the guest. You can feed your dog treats for settling on his mat while the guest is talking to you and ignoring your dog. And then when you do have your dog interact with the guest, you don't have to make it all about being touched and being excited by the guest. Instead, you could ask your guest to ask the dog for his favorite behaviors. So perhaps your dog likes to sit. You could get the guest to ask your dog to sit and give your dog a treat. Another really great behavior for dogs and guests to work on is the touch cue, and I'll link a video in the description, but it's basically teaching your dog to touch your hand. So when you say touch, the dog goes and touches their nose to your hand. And the great thing about this is, for a dog who submissively pees themselves when being touched, the dog is actually touching the guest rather than the guest touching the dog as the first interaction. And that can make the dog less likely to start to make that connection that greeting a person is about peeing, but rather that greeting a person is just about touching each other and there's no need to pee. Both paws. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Channel Kiko Pup to show your support. Bye! Good job, Wish.